Hello. I know we've been MIA, but now we're back with Charlotte and Shayna. And we're just going to recap on everything since this is a whole new year now. Just talk about a few little things, what we've been going through and what we expect out of this year. Me, personally, I probably look high right now. I do. But anyway.
You look high. Are you high?
I've been, seriously though, I've been struggling. I mean, it's major hell out here. I don't know how much more of this I can do. I'm at that point. I'm crazy right now.
What's wrong?
Everything. It just seems like my life just ain't moving forward. It's just right there. Ain't moving. It ain't going backwards, forward, sideways, nothing. It's just right there. And it's just getting crazy.
Where it's supposed to be going?
I don't know. I want to be comfortable. And I want to be able to do some things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just go to work and pay my bills and that's all I can do. I can't do nothing else. I mean, the only thing I like to do, I like going places and plus buying my shoes. And that's the thing. I'm not being able to do that because it's like I'm only getting to pay my bills and that. Like I had a scare the other day. My rent comes out of one account that I have. And anytime something go on my account alerts me, it tells me everything. If somebody does that, didn't tell me that the rent didn't go through.
Why didn't it?
I don't know. So when I get home, I'm wondering, I got a camera on my door. So if anybody come in, I got security. So I'm like, why is the maintenance man putting a letter in my door? Because I'm thinking, I done paid my rent already. I'm good with that. I get home that night. It just says that I got 24 hours to pay $1,077 or I got 24 hours to get out. And I'm like, what the hell?
They can't do that. They have to do your 30 days.
I know, right? But this is what she's saying. Just like now, she done sent everybody a paper saying that we got to pay it on the 1st. We can't be no later than the 1st. Bitch, please. I'm going to pay it when I get paid. Shit. But anyway, the point is, it was like I just went into I'm fucked mode. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just seemed like no matter what I do, it just, And the thing that trips me out is she could have kept it because my rent is $942, but it was $867. Tell me that ain't but a couple of dollars. Instead of her leaving it, she kicked it all the way out and made me have to pay the $135 extra.
Oh, so she refused your payment?
Yeah.
Oh. Because your rent went up.
I mean, but she didn't have to do that like that and then charge me the whole. But check this out, though. She had did it 6 days ago. She waited till after the late time so she could add on the $135. I'm like, wow. I mean, that's a good thing about having my son. I had to call him. And I hadn't had to ask him for nothing in years. And I didn't want to ask him because he had where I work at, they don't fix the road. So my tires was going down because I went in a pothole. And the city ain't going to reimburse you. So my tires was flat on the driver's side, the front and the back. So he went and bought me 4 new tires. I thought he was just going to put some air in my tires because he came to my job and he was like, Mom, let me use your car. I'm going to go take you there. And I was like, oh, cool. So it was so funny. It was the sweetest thing, though. When he come back, he was standing in there. He grins all the time. And he said, Mom Gladys, you got 4 new tires. And I'm like, thank you. I love you. And he looked at me and said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. I mean, it was the sweetest thing. Because I wasn't expecting that, And then it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like, and I worked.
Well, see, stuff like that should be what motivates you to keep going.
I know that, but it's getting hard, though. When you suffer from depression, that makes it hard. And then it's like, I work every single day. I do my time in that job, and I'm still not making no money. And it's killing me. It's like my bills is $1,700, and I ain't making but $1,200. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what I do, I ain't never gonna get the ends to meet. And it's like I need a different job, but you can't quit the job you got Cause then you know what I'm saying. You're gonna be shit out. But I don't know. It's getting harder and harder for me to the point where I'm just like, I'm ready to just give this shit. I'm just ready to give up because I can't keep doing this. I mean, this is a everyday. And then at the job, they want you to do this, that. But me, I don't do none of it. I do what I want to do, and that's as good as I'm gonna get.
So you do what they pay you to do?
Yep, nothing. I answer that phone, do this, do that. Then I mean, you know, it's just, I don't know. It just. Like I said, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm trying to move because where I live at is not worth what I'm paying. Mm-hmm. So hopefully I'm going to be moving soon. That'd probably be the only good thing come out of this. But it just seemed like that's taking a long time. I mean, it just seemed like everything you want takes time. I do know. But it just seemed like for me, it just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not moving anywhere. When you're supposed to be going forward, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just at a standstill. To the point where it's just.
There's a lot of people like that because right now the cost of living going up, but ain't nobody pay going up.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'll be there 3 years, and when I get my raise, it's gonna be 35 cents. What the hell I'm gonna do with 35 cents?
I know when eggs cost $8.
That's what I'm saying. Good thing I don't eat them. Because I sure wouldn't be
I'm
buying.
just saying, how do eggs go from like $3, $4
Yeah,
to $8? Like it's double.
Yeah,
Overnight.
that's crazy.
But yeah, I understand that part. But I feel like maybe you need to just start actively like looking every single day, put in applications.
Oh, I do.
On
Every
Indeed.
night I'm on this laptop putting in me something. Just like I did get a good little email back. The social service, who I've been trying to get with forever, emailed me and said I met all the requirements. They got to look at a couple of more, and then they will give me an interview. So I'm hoping that work out. Mm-hmm. Because I'll be in school too. So I'll be doing that and school. So hopefully, I mean, that's the only thing what makes me say, okay, Charlotte.
You going to school?
Yeah, girl. I had to. I decided it. That last time me and you had talked, I said, yeah, why not? Finish what I started. Because you know I was going to school before. Mm-hmm. Nelson got sick. I had to drop out and I didn't get to finish. So I'm going to finish it now.
And what you mean?
But the lady said I couldn't. She don't know if I can use my credit since it's been so long.
But a long time.
Child behavior, because I want to work for I want to do CPS. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
What's CPS?
Child Protective Services.
I don't be knowing.
I'm gonna get my boogie.
I know at my job we have a
acronym.
What did that mean?
I know, right? I could get my boogie adopting myself. But yeah, that's what I want to do. So yeah, I'm doing that. I mean, that's a good thing, but it's just like still again, shit take time. It ain't like it just happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you could just say, okay, I'm gonna do this, and it happened, boom, boom, boom. We good with that, but it ain't like that. It just seems like I don't know. It's like every time I look around, I look at people and I be like, why is their life like that?
No, you can't look at it like that.
I know you can't, but I'm saying I do.
People put on a facade. People make you think that that's what their life is like, but that ain't what their life is like. Everybody going through stuff. We can't look at your life and compare it to nobody else's.
Yeah, that's true. You can't, but you do. Well, I do.
I don't.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want to be nobody else or wish this, that. I don't know. And I think that makes me go back to where I could have been. You know what I'm saying? If I had her. You know how the people with all of that. Yeah, that's me right there.
Well, you can't live in shoulda, coulda, woulda. You
I
gotta
do
live
though.
in your reality.
That's what I'm saying.
And you can just make the best out of your reality.
And again, when you suffer from depression, that's what you go to. Because when you get to that point, like I was telling a girl at my job, and she was talking about how she going through this and that, and I told her, I said, well, find yourself a safe zone in your house or whatever. I said, mine's is my closet. I got a chair and a little table with a lamp. It don't do that, make noise. It broke, so it makes noise, which is a good thing because it's like a motion in my head. You know what I'm saying? And it helps you mellow out. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Well,
okay.
you do. She do. She just sometimes.
I'm just what?
Nah.
I'm just saying I don't know what you're
But anyway, it helps for you to find it's like a safe zone for you to go to and sit and you by yourself and you thinking and you meditating and all of that about, it helps you
That's my bed.
Not focus on it. Well, yeah, see, I can't do that. I'm on my bed all the time, but most of the time I'm watching TV with that, and that's not a good thing. I need it to be dark and quiet. That's why if you come to my house now, it's daytime. It is totally black.
That's depressing.
I got blackout curtains.
That's
don't turn the
that
lights
don't help with
I
depression.
don't open the shades. None of that. It just boom.
But that don't help with depression. How do you expect your mood to be better if you're sitting in the dark? You're sitting in a depressing environment. So if you're sitting in a depressing environment, your depression is gonna.
I get what you said, but you know what? That helps. If it's pitch black, then that's what you see, and that's what's in your head. The darkness.
Why you want darkness?
You get what I'm saying?
Why you want darkness? Let light in your life.
No.
If you let light in your life, then it might help you with your depression to where you're not feeling so down all the time. That's why every morning when I wake up, I open up my blinds, my house be lit up because I just like light.
Yeah, my grandmother was like that.
She would uplift you.
Open the shade all the way to the top, open the curtains, and I try to ease them back, and she's like, nope. I don't know. I can't. And it's like
you just don't.
When me too, if I let somebody get close to me, then shit always happen. And that's why I don't. And that's why I feel like being in the dark or by myself is best for me. You know what I'm saying? It is for me.
It's not for you because you complaining about it.
No, I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about
depression.
No, I'm not complaining about my depression. Really, it's basically where I'm at, as far as job wise and stuff.
What I'm saying is, depression is not something that you want to be in. You don't want to be depressed. That's the whole purpose of this podcast. Is like you want to heal from this.
Yeah.
But when you're constantly in a state of a depressing place, how can you move forward?
But you know what too though? That's something I've learned too though, but depression is never ever gonna go away. It's something you live and die with.
But it's coping mechanisms that you can use that can help you deal with your depression. Not saying that it'll ever go away, you'll ever be cured from it, but it is a way to manage it.
That's my managing it.
That ain't managing it.
No, I'm saying for me, that's
my
managing it by
sitting in the dark.
Yep.
That is not managing it. That's making you stay in a depressed state. That's why I say if you open up your blinds and allow light in and you put yourself in a different environment, your mindset changes. You don't sit there and think dark thoughts. But you're in a dark place, so you're going to have dark thoughts. If you let light in, light can consume your dark thoughts. You don't look at it like that? What?
I don't see it.
I see it. Because I know it be days when I just don't feel like getting up out of the bed. Not saying that I be depressed, but I just be like, but then as soon as I open up my blinds, it's like a whole different energy come on me. So I believe that you just need to start opening up your blinds. Letting some light in your house. Playing some positive music. Not in the dark.
I don't play nothing in the dark. That's what I'm saying. There's don't be nothing in the dark. Everything is dark.
When you clean up, put you some music on that makes you want to stomp your feet and dance.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
That is the thing. When I used to clean up before, I always had my music on. I got me these little speakers, and my music be blasting, and I be jamming up in there. And then all of a sudden, it just stopped. I couldn't listen to it anymore. Now, when my kids was younger, it would always be gospel music. It would always be the Staple Singers. I love them. I would listen to them. They knew when it was time to clean up because they hear them Staple Singers coming on, boy. But they had some good, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what I listened to. And then after they got older, that's when I said I started listening to music when I clean up. And then just all of a sudden, it just stopped.
Well, now you need to bring it back. That might be something that you need to incorporate in your life.
I think
music is uplifting.
It is, but I think what happened was, even though my grandmother been passed for a while, she been dead for, 2011. It seemed like just a couple of years ago, it just dawned on me, really. You get what I'm saying? It just really hit me to where, I mean, it hit me then, but it's like now. It's like how we move on these many years without her. It just seems so much harder.
But you have. That's the thing. Like, you have. When I lost my daddy, you know, that my daddy was the closest thing to me. Like, I was a daddy's girl. So when I lost him, I didn't feel like it was a bad thing, because I know that when he was here, he was suffering. And I feel like, and I'm a true believer, if you're absent from the body, you're present with the Lord. So I'm like, well, I know he ain't in misery no more. He might not be with me, and I might not be able to see him, and I might not be able to talk to him, but I know he's not hurting anymore. I know he's not in pain anymore. That's the comfort that I take from death. Especially like with your grandmother, she lived a good life.
She did.
She lived a long life. It ain't like she got taken at an early age. When she passed away, she had amputated legs. She was in a nursing home, which she did not like. So it was like, would you rather her live in that state and just be here? Or would you rather her just go on and be peaceful and in heaven with God, you know, and
resting? See, that's when it comes for me to be selfish, because I would say, yes, I would rather her. With all of that,
you would rather her be here suffering.
Not suffering.
That's suffering, because she was
That's
suffering.
why I said I would take it to be selfish on my part, because I would say, yeah, I would want her, because I just looked at it like she was never gonna, she was never gonna leave.
Well, we're born to die, and that's the way I look at death. I don't look at death. I mean, I take death harder for somebody that's younger, because like when I lost my cousin, like she was 32.
Right.
Like that hurt me more than losing my daddy.
Right.
And my daddy gave me life, and that was the closest thing to me. But being that my daddy lived, he was 66 when he passed away, but the pain and the suffering that he was going through in his later years, I was okay with that, because I knew he was suffering. But my cousin, she wasn't suffering. She was living her best life.
Yeah,
she was pregnant.
She had a baby.
She was excited about life.
Yeah.
And for her life to just be gone just like that, that hurt me more than losing my daddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she just had so much life. And I think when it comes to me, I look at death as like, if you're suffering and I know the quality of life that you're living on this earth isn't good, and I just think about me. If I'm living here and I'm not doing good, like I'm just barely making it day to day, I don't see nobody, or I'm hurting, like I don't think that I would want to stay here, even though you don't want your family to suffer because you're not here. But me, I wouldn't want to be here if I'm in pain and I'm suffering and I'm not being able to live the quality of life that I'm accustomed to. If I'm accustomed to moving around and I'm accustomed to, being able to get up and go when I want to go, I don't want to just lay in a bed and just exist. And that's the way you have to look at death when it happens to people that you love, especially if they're suffering here on earth. Yeah, it's selfish. We want to keep them here, but you got to look at it like, well, they're not happy here. It's time for them to go. And when you look at it from a different perspective, then I think you get I think you can embrace it a little more than just looking at it like, well, I wish she was still here so I could talk to her. But think about what she was doing, I
do think about it all since, but then I do say it too. I say, yeah, that's true, because it would have been selfish on my part, because even when Nelson said that to me, and I don't know, it just make me feel like I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, but we're never ready. We're never going to be ready to lose a loved one.
And then the statement you just made about if you feel all of that stuff you said, if you felt like this and you felt like that and you couldn't get around and da-da-da. I feel like that every day.
You can get around.
But no, the thing, that's the part right here. I'm going to say, I'll cut everything you said up to that point is me. And it's like now it's getting harder for me to function sometime, because I got screws in my back. I got a plate, 4-inch screws, 4 of them in my back, and one of them moved. It's coming. It's coming out of my back. Mm-hmm. So I may not be able to do what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like every day I'm hurting, but I have to get up and go and do what I'm doing. And that's another thing what makes me feel the way I feel, because I'm doing all of this and I'm still nowhere. You understand what I'm saying now? I'm still here. I'm still at that same point when I should have been at the end by now.
It ain't no end. It ain't no end.
That's not the end I mean. I mean the end of all of this having to live paycheck to paycheck and not be able to do this and that. I want to be able to work and be able to have, you give them, that's what I say when I want to be at the end. I know it's no end. It's never an end until you die. I'm just saying the end of my suffering is what I want to be done. I want to stop my suffering without having to die first. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
We go through suffering regardless of, if you're not going through a financial situation, you're going to go through something else. It's always going to be something to where you feel like you're suffering. I think it's about your perspective on how you look at your situation. To me, if I'm in a financial situation where I'm not making ends meet, I'm going to try to figure out a way to make ends meet. Whether that means if I'm working this job and then maybe doing some door dashing or whatever to make some extra money or get a second job, I'm going to do what I have to do so that I can meet my financial needs until I have one job that is able to cover my finances. So I think it's just the point of how you look at it, because right now you're looking at it like I'm stuck at this job. I do this job and I'm not making enough money. I'm looking for another job, but I'm still, stuck here. Okay, well, what can you do to extra? It might get you out your comfort zone. Like, okay, start a DoorDash. Start going to pick up orders. People make good money on DoorDash.
I hear they do.
They make good money on DoorDash.
But the thing about that is,
money instantly.
I understand that part, but I think about in what you hear about most people that do that DoorDash, how they get robbed.
No. It's more. I think that's more like the Uber drivers, people that let people in their car. But you're just going to pick up food, and most of the time the people want you to drop it at their front door. Most of the time you don't even see them people.
Yeah, somebody dropped somebody else's order off at my door the other night.
Yeah,
and I had to throw it in the garbage because it wasn't even mine.
You don't even see the people that's doing it. They going in the restaurant, picking up the food, taking it to people's house. But that's something that you could do that can make some extra money when you need some extra money. That way you don't feel like I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, you might be out here hustling, but it's just about your perspective of things. I think if you constantly look at it like I'm not making enough, well, what are you doing to make more? Yeah, you might be looking, but if that's not working, try a different avenue. So go and do something different. That's the way I look at it.
And that is true, but it's just me. I don't know. I guess it's just,
you in your own way.
Yeah, so
you are preventing yourself from moving forward. I guess
I do, because I'm not gonna do that.
Why you wouldn't do that? And see, that's the thing. You can't say what you can't say what you're not gonna do. But what I'm saying is, like with me, I don't have a problem if I know I have bills to pay and I know I got to provide for myself. I'm not too good to do nothing. Now, I ain't going to go strip and I ain't going to go I ain't going to do none of that. But I'm not too good to go say, welcome to McDonald's, may I take your order? I'm not too good for that. I'm not too good to go throw boxes or drive a forklift in a warehouse. I'm not too good for that. I'm not too good. When I say I am not too good to do anything, I will do what I have to do to make my ends meet. Because to me, like I said, it's all about perspective. I don't think I'm too good to do anything because I've done it. I worked at McDonald's.
Me too.
I worked at Bojangles. I worked at Taco Bell. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, Shannon. The thing about that, though, Shannon, that's what I'm saying. I did all of that, and that's what makes me feel like I done worked at Burger King. I done cleaned toilets. I done cleaned people's houses. I done washed people's clothes. I done everything it is that a person need to do I'm old now. I can't do all of that shit.
You can drive a damn car and you can go pick up an order and you
but
just
the thing about that is you got to constantly keep getting in and out of a car. Get this, get that. I can't do all of that. You're not listening to what I'm saying when I'm telling you about my back. I can't do all of that. It's getting to the point where I'm catching hell getting in and out of my goddamn car. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of shit I can't do that I used to do before. Before I didn't care about. Like I said, I done this, done that. I ain't never been too good. I done worked in a grocery store. I done did every kind of job out here there is to do. I have done it. And it just, like I just cleaned up somebody's house. I'm going to tell you people now. From now on, if I clean up, you're going to pay me up front. She didn't pay me.
But my thing is, you know what I'm saying? You can clean up, but you can't get in and out your car. Cleaning up is harder than getting in and out your car.
I clean up my house, and when I'm done, I'm damn near about to die. Because like now, my side is killing me. It's like the older I get, the more the shit that I call myself fixing on my body, it's getting right back to where it was. Because I'm about to die. I don't know. It just, like I said, it's a lot of stuff. It ain't that I can't do, wouldn't do. It's just I'm not gonna do because of, it just,
No,
I'm not gonna do
you
it.
can't say I'm not gonna do. You saying you can't do.
Yeah.
That what you're saying?
Well, both.
Because you're saying I'm not gonna do, because to me that means you can do it, but you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
But that ain't the way you need to look at life if you want to get ahead. And as long as you say I'm not gonna do something, and you have an opportunity to do it, then you stopping your blessings. That's just my perspective. That's the way I look at it.
Well, me, I've never wanted to work more than one job. I got one job, and that's all.
I never wanted to work more than one job.
And I'm not.
And I haven't never had to work
That's
another
what I'm
job.
saying.
But I have had to go backwards in order to go forward. Like, I was making good money when I was at this one job. I got laid off. But when I came to the job that I'm at now, that was a whole $3 and some change decrease from what I was making at this job. But it went backwards, and then God has blessed me tremendously since then. But sometimes you just don't know where your blessings lie. And if you have that mentality like, I'm not doing that, then you just stopping your blessings. Because the way I look at it, if somebody give you an idea, you go do it, and that thing could possibly work out for you, you stopping your blessings. That's me. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
And you're right.
You stop it.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. You are right when you say that, but it's just me. It's just me.
You're stopping yourselves, and then you're the reason. You're saying, "I want to get out of this situation. I want to not be in this situation anymore." That's why I'm asking you. Well, what are you doing to get out of that situation?
What am I doing? And that's what I'm doing for me to get out of my situation is the school thing. That's my
but
that's
school,
for me.
But school, yeah, I understand school, but school ain't bringing you no money in right now. So you're okay with just
but it
being
will be.
paycheck.
That's what
eventually.
I'm saying.
But eventually.
No, I'm saying I'll get paid to go to school, and that's what I'm gonna do.
What you mean you'll get paid to go to school? You talking about like Pell Grants and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
I'll get
honey,
paid.
They cut all that. You ain't getting them big checks like you used to get.
I'm
back
not
in the
saying
day.
that. I'm just saying that's the thing about me. I don't need no whole lot. I just want to be able, like I said, to where if I need to go somewhere, I can go. You get what I'm saying? I'm not out here trying to say I need this, that, and the other. That's not my whole point. It's just me.
Ain't gonna hurt you.
And it's probably not. But I'm not doing it.
Well, you
Girl.
ain't gonna have the money to go nowhere.
That's
I'm
it.
just saying. So you just gotta stop complaining about your situation, because you ain't doing it. You ain't gonna do what it takes. Is you stuck in your ways? Because I'm stuck in my ways in some areas, but when it comes to finances and me wanting to do something, no. Because if I want to take a trip and I ain't got the money, I'm going to do what I got to do. If I got to do some extra something, get me a little part-time job, I'm going to do it. Because I know what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know what I want to do, and that's just me. And I think that you just stand in your own way because you set in your ways and you like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And I'm just saying, you just don't know. You don't know what kind of blessings you can get in the midst of doing something different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All of it is true. It's just it just seemed like to get ahead a little, you got to do way too damn much.
Yeah, but that's how it is. That's like starting a business. People think it's easy to start a business. You can start a business, you're going to fail so many times. But if you give up every time you fail, you'll never be successful. If you talk to a business owner or somebody that is very successful, they can tell you they failed more times than you would even think they did.
Yeah, I
because
understand.
You have
I know
to fail
that part
in order to succeed.
Because
but
my grandmother owned a lot of shit, and she had a couple of businesses, and she said it took her a while before they really jumped like they were supposed to. So I mean that part, I
but
know
that's
that
life.
part. Yeah,
but that's
what I'm saying. So I'm not, that I know all about. I know about that because, like I said, I know that from my grandmother and the people that she was always around, and that's why she was always when them white people she was working for and working with was always here, she was right there because she knew what it took. She had that in her. I wish I had that in me, what she had. I do. Even though she raised me and everything, I guess I wasn't paying attention because I was.
It ain't the point of paying attention.
It is a lot of paying attention because
if you saw it and you see it and you know what she did, it's nothing for you to emulate what she did. It's nothing for you to go out here and do exactly what she did. You, like I said, you stopping yourself. You knew what it took for her to get what she needed. Why you ain't doing it? It don't have to be something in you. It's just a will. Like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go out here and do it. But you talking yourself out of it.
Well, that's the only
you making
thing.
excuses.
The only thing I've ever really wanted to do, and that's why I'm going back to school, is to work with kids. Mm-hmm. And you got to go to school for that. Mm-hmm. That's the only really thing I've ever, to be honest with you, ever really wanted to do in my life. Was that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's, like I said, that's the only thing I ever wanted to do, was to actually work with kids, because I've always been good with kids. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing. See, I am doing what this is, and I just, the only thing I hate about me is it took me so long to say, okay.
But, you want to work with kids. Why didn't you just open up your own little daycare? You don't have to have no degree to have a daycare.
I don't mean that kind of working with no kids.
Keep a certain amount of kids, because by the law, it has to be a certain amount of kids. But people pay good money for
they
daycare.
do, because I used to do that. Well, I used to do that too. But I'm saying I want a different type. I want to be able to. Yeah, because I want to help them and help them deal with the stuff they going through, because I've been through that. That's what I say. I could relate to these kids. The kind that I'm talking
different
about.
Now. These kids are totally different.
Some of them are, and it's because they have no parent.
They totally.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't the point of parents. They don't have no type of stability. Like they can't even take.
Then that's the whole point of man. Because I tell people to this day, kids are not being raised; they just growing up, and they are totally disrespectful. And a lot of them are going through more than what you think they're going through. But nobody talks to them.
It's the way that
that's
they grow
my whole
up.
point.
With everything at their hands, they got every social media outlet. They got everything to compare themselves to. Like when I was growing up, we ain't had none of that.
Me either.
We had to go outside and play.
We did too. And I loved it. I told a girl the other day, I said, if I could go back, I'd be 9 years old.
Kids don't
right
go
now.
outside to play
right
nowadays.
now. I'll be 9.
They behind.
Oh yeah, because
media.
I'm bored.
Phone,
ain't nothing to
computer.
do. This. Oh yeah. I mean, you
talking to them.
Social media
is raising them. Social media
truly.
is raising them, and it has a complex. They don't know how to be rejected. They don't know how to take criticism. Like anything you say to these young people now, it's like it pushes them over the edge. It's like they don't have no tough skin at all.
That's crazy, ain't it?
But that's the way they are raised, because they're so in the social media. It's all about being accepted, all about people liking you. They put photos out there to see how many likes they get, and if they don't get enough likes, that plays on their mental. When I was coming up,
I never cared about who liked me, what you said about me, whether you was gonna play with me. That was never important to me, and till this day, it ain't important to me. Never have been before, and it isn't now. My mind and my life does not consist with you. I don't care what you think or what you think about me. Never have, never will. And that is a sad thing with these kids nowadays, that they got so much jealousy in them for no reason. It's just so crazy that it just don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense.
It don't. Hello.
My son just came in with my grandbabies.
Yeah, he did.
He hugged me tight like he missed me.
Oh, please. He's trying to act like that, like I'm going to get him or something.
Tell me, my Charlotte, hey. He acting scared.
Yeah, look at him.
Are you recording this, Charlotte?
Yeah. Don't you see it moving?
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting old, ain't you?
Yeah. So, don't stop talking, come my baby here.
No, I was about to ask Jay something. I was about to ask Jay what he think about these kids growing up now.
Oh, we got a new guest.
Yes,
Jay.
we do. This is Jay.
My son.
And my grandson and his babies.
Oh, he is not sitting
And
down.
now look at that one.
You ain't messed the podcast up. We introducing you as a guest.
Oh, his little little Adidas suit.
I know, right? Looking so cute.
Cry, baby.
We'll take the jacket out. What you think about this young generation, Jay? That's what we talking about. These kids letting social media raise them.
Yeah, they just nowadays kids just follow trends, and it's just like getting real bad.
Do you see a difference between your generation? Because you were 25.
I mean, yeah, I kind of we grew up with technology, but we didn't grow up with like
Like it
what
is
it
now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We just had we didn't have internet. We just had more like just games. Now it's like everything internet. So these kids nowadays just follow whatever's on internet, and they follow the music. It's not going good. I don't think so.
What you gonna do with your boys, as far as that situation, as far as all of this?
As far as internet, and
Yeah.
are you gonna limit them to screen time, or they gonna have a phone at like 6 years old? And
Oh yeah.
Probably just keep away from all the negative stuff, mainly.
it's hard if they have technology.
Are you you plan on getting them a phone and stuff at a young age like that?
Oh, they ain't get a phone to about 15.
Yeah, that's what I did when I did.
Teenagers.
15, yeah. And it was only because he played basketball and I needed to know after school.
Yeah, if I need to know.
Yeah.
Like what's going on, and you have to pick them up and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think you want us to homeschool the kids? Have kids homeschooled?
No. I
No.
don't wanna shut
You want them
I want
to
them to experience.
Jay said no.
I want them to experience,
Yeah.
experience life. So how did? But see, the thing is, like I was heard last night. Now this didn't happen late. This happened like early in the week. But they said like a 6-year-old boy or child, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, took a gun to school and shot his teacher and shot the teacher. The teacher lived, but 6 years old, first grade. What do you know about guns, and what do you know about shooting somebody? You know what I'm saying?
It's the music.
It's the music.
A lot of them say because
It's the ear gate.
Yeah.
So
They
they.
hear so much negative music.
Mhm.
It's just they follow it. It's like a spirit. It's like a spirit.
Spirit. It is. It's a negative spirit.
It's a
When
negative spirit.
they say it gets in through your ears and your eyes, you see it and you hear it. So my thing is, does that not put fear in your heart? And not saying fear like, because the Bible tells us not to fear, but does that kind of like put like again fear in your heart for your children to go to school? Because they would be around people that do listen to negative and see negative and raised in a negative environment. So bringing them into an atmosphere where you have all these different kids that have different backgrounds, does that not kind of like put a reservation in your heart to let them go to public school?
No, it doesn't. It don't put anything on my heart. It's just that you just got to know your child. If you know your child, then.
But you know your child, but you don't know the people.
I mean,
because like even like when them innocent kids down in Texas, that this man came in and just shot up the school, shot up innocent children and teachers and stuff. So it's like you dealing with a society that is so numb to life.
I'm just going based off how you raised me, really. Just pray for me. I mean, because
keep you in prayer. You can't control it.
Everything.
You can't control everything.
Things gonna happen.
But if it gets to worse, like than what it is, would you consider just saying, okay, I'm gonna put mine in a Christian school or whatever?
To where, like, they bring guns in like all the time. Like, it's always happening. Then yeah, I will definitely bring them home. Or leave them home.
Let them be homeschooled.
Yeah. I mean, because they got all these portable classes now. It ain't nothing to it. Just.
Yeah, and then now they have homeschools where the parents that do homeschool, they have like groups and they'll let their kids get with the other kids.
Yeah, April's daughter goes with another girl to their house and they do
homeschool together.
Yeah, they do homeschool
and then they
together.
that gives them their social life. Because when you go to school, you have a little social life. You get to meet your friends. So this brings different homeschools together, and then all the kids be able to interact. And I think they even have some places where they do like when they seniors or whatever, they do like the dances. They have their own like proms and stuff like that. So it's like a whole different environment, but they still get they get to socialize with people that's in the same type of atmosphere, schooling that they're in. So I was just wondering what your take on it, because we was talking about children and her wanting to work with children and her wanting to work with bad kids.
Oh,
And I was just saying that the kids now
Kids
are
now change.
totally different than the kids that, because like I did. You remember when I was unemployed and I did the outreach group in Boyd Hill,
Yeah.
where we had the little groups of the girls and stuff like that. And I look at the issues that they dealt with then,
Life change.
and to say that I would want to work with teenagers now is on a whole different spectrum, because then I could deal with the issues that they were dealing with, because they were dealing with issues that, I probably dealt with. But now, the kids now, they on a whole different level, because I can't relate to wanting a like on social media or being discouraged because somebody didn't like my picture or somebody said something negative on my picture. I can't relate to that. So I'm like, if you
And
come
see,
to
that's the
me and
thing.
you be like, and I can be like, why do you care?
Yeah,
But
that's the
you
whole point,
can't-
because those are the questions when you work with kids like that. Those are the questions that you do ask them. You don't. It's not when you say it. It's like you judging, asking them that question. It's like you asking them. You have to ask them simply. Tell me why it is important for them to like you or this or that. There. I mean, me. I just feel like I've been through all of that, so that's why I feel like I'm better there with the kids. And I did it when I worked at the boys' home, so I feel like I'm better with them because I can relate to all of. You know what I'm saying? That stuff. And then it's a difference. Like you say, you got this set, that set. So it is difference, but it's then yet still is all one. You understand what I'm trying to say? And it's like now you have your two sons getting ready to grow up. I tell people this day, I say, if I had the chance now to go back, I don't feel that I would bring kids into this world.
I
That's
wouldn't
me
either.
personally.
Yeah,
I would
I
not.
wouldn't either.
So if you could change it, not saying that you don't love your kids or anything like that, would you do it still, Jay? I mean, if you
Once you
could,
have no kids.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I always wanted to experience having kids, so I would have kids, but on another spectrum, I wouldn't want.
just because of the word that
Yeah, that's what
they're
I'm saying.
being raised
Yeah.
in. And that's how I felt. I felt like, I always would want kids, but now that I look at what y'all have to go through and the things that in this world that's just craziness, I was like, God, I shouldn't have brought no kids into this
Yeah, because
world.
it
I
scares
love
me
y'all,
every day. Yeah,
but
and that's the thing.
But to have to live with the fact of
Yeah.
knowing, these people out here crazy. And you can go to the mall with your family and
And
then
something, yep.
you just not existing anymore.
That's it.
You can take your kid to a parade and somebody done ran a car through the parade.
Like
and
I
run
heard
over
about
people. It's
where
just
this lady
people
and this
crazy.
guy went to a party. It was black people, and they just went and started acting a fool, doing racial stuff. This was at a 5-year-old birthday party. So I mean, it's like, what makes you? Then the lady was standing in court crying, talking about that ain't me, it ain't. But you did it, and yet you still stand here in court and say that ain't you. But you
because
did
they
that.
want to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just, I think about it all the time, and it's like, it's a scary thought. Every time I think about when somebody I know or related to me or whatever, they go out, I think about them and their kids. It scares me every single day, like, because my phone is right there. At night, I'm just scared that the phone gonna ring. You know what I'm saying?
I don't live in fear. Now that one thing.
I mean,
I pray. I pray for my kids all the time.
I do that too, but sometimes I
pray for
feel
my
like that
kids,
ain't
I pray
enough.
For my grandkids.
Yeah.
I believe prayer is enough, and I believe that God will protect, because it's been times where I know I have people praying for me in this situation that I've been in, and just came out scotch-free. Nothing happened. Like, I just know that God's hand can be on somebody if they're covered in prayer. It's just people don't pray no more. People don't pray no more. And that's the thing, like, this newer generation, it's like, I see more people, like, leaning more towards the world than they are to Christ. You don't see young people in church like you used to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was growing up, I was in
Yeah, we was always
Bible
in
study.
church. Yeah.
I was in Sunday school, children's church, vacation Bible school. I was on the choir. But now that you go to these churches, the churches don't have, like, a lot of them don't even have youth ministries. A lot of them don't have children's church. A lot of them don't even have a children's choir. Like, the stuff that I grew up in church doing It's like it's not available for the kids. And then if it is, you don't see that many people there. You don't see that many kids there. So it's like you have a generation of people that's growing up that are not being taught God.
That's because kids only care about technology now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they care about. Because I seen it was a story online where this little boy killed his mother. Shot his mother because she didn't buy him a VR set.
A virtual
Shot
reality.
and killed his own mama because she didn't buy him a VR set.
Yeah. Well, you heard about the boy who killed his mama because she woke him up to go to school.
I hear that.
She woke him up too early.
Oh my God.
It's
It's
And it makes you think where he got that gun from anyway.
Yeah, they're children.
Young kids. Why
Yeah.
you? I don't. That's why I say that. What I say, it's just so crazy. It just, I don't know. It don't make no sense to what happened to the what happened to the world to where we come to where we are right now today.
Because the world is nothing but the devil. Like when we were born into this world, we were born into sin, and I think now the fact of the easy access to music, the easy access, because you think about it, when we were growing up, we didn't have easy access to music. You had to actually go to a store and buy a CD or a cassette tape. I think the closest we had to any type of music was you had the radio, you listen to the radio, but then you might have that, what was it, on one of them shows back in the days, Donnie Simpson, where you watch the videos, Video Soul, like that was like a highlight because that was when we was able to hear music and stuff like that. But now, soon as an album drop, kids have access to it at any age. You know, back in the days, in order to buy an explicit album, you had to be of a certain age. You couldn't just go into the little store and say, I want to buy this, and it had explicit on it without an ID. Now, they could just download the music. So you got little elementary kids listening to all this violent music. So it's getting in them, and that's the way they're growing up. It's just ridiculous at how easy access to music and to watch anything on TV can just change a generation. Because that's what happened. The generations have changed.
Yeah, kids start to act more like adults. 10 years old.
At a young age.
10 years old, they acting like cussing. And acting like they somebody's mama or daddy.
Yeah. They do. But they get it from what they see and what they watch and what they hear. Yeah. Even if you got good parents.
But it's only going to get worse though.
Yeah. And that's why I asked you, was you scared to send your kids to school? Because it gets worse. Right now, they babies. By the time they ready to enter school, just think about how bad it's gonna be.
Yeah, it do depends on.
And people are so desensitized to it happening now. It's like, you know, it happens and you shed a few tears and then on to the next. Because do you think the government trying to do anything about the gun laws? No.
They ain't trying to change that.
No. They're not trying to do anything about, oh, you're trying to take the guns away. No, we need to get these guns under control because you got 6-year-old kids taking guns to school, shooting their teacher. You got people going into elementary schools shooting up kids. Like, it has to be some type of reform. But do you think, no, it's all, well, they just want to take our guns away. No, we need to learn how to manage the guns and who we putting these guns in the hands of. Cause these kids crazy. And you can tell they're crazy. Just by some of the conversations they have or their social media.
Yeah, and that's why I say again, why I'm going to school is just for that, to try to help. I mean,
You'll be helping them crazy kids not kill nobody.
Yeah.
And they come in there and shoot you up.
Nah, they don't say that.
Sean, they say it's all wrong. They gonna come in there with a gun in their backpack, be like, I'm shooting this woman today.
I'm gonna make sure when my shit be
Go ahead,
I'm
better
when I'm
protect.
better, you coming in here with that. If you got some braces, take them out. Tell them. But I mean, it is crazy though. It is. But a lot of these kids, like you say, are doing it because of all of this right here. This little thing right here in that phone. Because when Maya was here, and we get in the car or be eating somewhere, I would have to take the phone because I'm like, what you doing? Like I ain't sitting right here
we
with
don't
you.
fellowship no more. Like we eat dinner, everybody on their phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's
don't
crazy.
conversate no more. It's no conversation. People don't fellowship no more. They always on those phones or tablets or computers or whatever.
I tell people in a minute, my phone is not that important. Sometimes I be in this room, my phone be way somewhere else. I don't know where it's at and don't care. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. But like you say, they let them start when they're young. Get a phone when they're 6 years old. They already know how to work it better than you do.
Look, these two know how to use them. They know how to swipe. I ain't saying they got a tablet.
They can do too. He'll get my phone and swipe and be.
Yeah, hello.
Like, who you talking
like, these
to?
kids learn early, and that's why I say it's good when you can teach them. Like with Jason, he gets on the tablet, he play the little games and stuff like that. That's good. Not saying that it's all technology is bad.
Yeah, it's like you said, what you limit them to.
You have to limit them, and you also have to limit the time that you allow them on it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the technology is raising the kids because the parents don't want to raise them.
Yeah, because when I had mine, they didn't have all that. When Nadarius came along, I didn't get him a phone till he turned 15, and that was only because he had to stay after school, and I wanted to know, and he could call me. And at night, it was never in his room. You know what I'm saying? Because he would probably stayed up on it all night if he could have. And the game, I limited that. You can't play that all day. You know what I'm saying? Go outside. They don't want to go outside. He was always, I'm bored.
Well, Jay was in the house a lot. He wasn't an outdoor kid. He played his games and stuff like that. And like I was shocked that he had friends. Like when he told me he had friends, I'm like, Jay, you got friends? Like I'm dead serious. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
Because Jay was always a homebody.
Yeah.
He was always to himself. He was in his room. He'll play his games. Like I ain't never had no trouble out of Jay. I ain't never think like nothing negative about Jay, anything like that. I just thought he was just gonna be socially awkward.
Right.
But then come to find out, I really didn't even know my child. Cause he come out.
I tell people all the time, nobody knows their kid. You can never say, just like with me, I could say with Nelson, I could never say he wouldn't or he this or that because the hell would I know? You know, you're not with him like that all the time. Just like you said, he lived in the house with you 24/7, and you did not know this boy had no friends.
I didn't know he had friends.
That's what
he
I'm
never
saying.
Talked about. Like I would have me and Jay when my kids come home. I always ask them, "Hey, how was your day?" Like we had conversation, like. You know, what did you do today? And there was always the bland, you know. Well
always
done,
the same,
yeah, the same old thing.
That's it.
They just wanted to say what they had to say so they can get out my face, and they're just going up to their room and play with it, do whatever they want to. But I did not limit Jay to his gaming because I felt like that was something that was his outlet.
Right.
Now he was active. He played sports and all that stuff, and I kept them in stuff. Like
That's what I did with Nadarius. It was a good thing because when you keep a child into something, that lets some mind go in good spaces all the time.
Right.
And then they can hang around a better set.
Yeah.
Because they doing what you doing and they ain't thinking about all that other crap.
Right.
So
And that's why I always said, let me keep my kids busy so they can't be doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Jay stayed in his room and he played his video games, but he had a balance with sports because he played football, he played baseball, he played lacrosse, he played soccer. Like I had him in every sport. So I made sure he got a balance of outdoors and exercise and meeting people and then being competitive. Like, you know, I want you to be competitive and learn that, you know, everything ain't just handed to you. You got to work hard for everything that you get. So sports is a good way of teaching kids. You work hard, you play hard.
Yep.
You work hard, you get rewarded. You know, that's a good thing about sports, and that's why I wanted them to play sports. And then when he get old enough to play a sport in high school, he wants to quit. Because I feel like at a certain age, I can introduce you, but when you get into high school and you're able to know, you know, what you trying to do with your life, because you know in high school that's where they start developing you for real life. So when he said, "Mama, I don't want to play football no more," that crushed me. But to be honest, I think it was a blessing that he did that, because now with all the issues that these players are having with concussions and stuff like that
dude just had that heart attack.
Yeah, on the field. Shit. So I'm sitting here thinking, now I do have my time, because I remember one time we were watching a game down at your sister's house on Thanksgiving, I think it was. Wasn't it Thanksgiving when me, UT, went down to Gina's house? I think all of us was down there, and we were watching LSU football, and Jay was like, man, I wish I had stayed in football. I could have been playing there. But he was good enough to play at a college level.
Right.
He just gave it up. And I just think about that, and I be like, golly, if Jay would have stuck it out, what could he have done? Wonder if he could have went, that shoulda, coulda, would. Like, I wonder if he would have went to college on a full scholarship. I wonder if he'd be in the the NFL right now. Those are the things that you think of as a parent. But Jay had to live his life the way he wanted to live his life. And at that time when he entered high school, I had to respect the fact that, that might have been something that I wanted him to do. But if I force him to do something, he's not gonna give his all.
Right.
So I was like, well, I respect that.
That's how it was with Nadarson, because he was in football. Nelson took him out of football because he was so little. He was good though. He was fast.
They called him speedy.
That's it.
They called him speedy on the
I
field.
put him in baseball. He didn't like it, so I told him, "You just finish this out, and you didn't have to play." It was basketball what he loved so much.
And see, the thing about baseball is they didn't like it because they felt like it was a white boy sport.
He just didn't. I don't know why he didn't like it, because I played softball in school, but he just did not like it.
Yeah, that's what they told me. That's what him and Josh told me. It's a white boy sport. But if you notice, they were like the only specs out there because black people focus on football and basketball. Yeah. You don't see people putting their kids in baseball like that. Baseball where the money at, to be honest with you. If you want your child to be successful and be, go to a pro sport, baseball is probably the number one sport they should go to. But like even Josh was good. I remember when he was pitching. Now Josh, I should have stayed on him, but we used to take him to the park, and I had bought the ball that tells you how fast you throw the ball. And him and Nelson would get in the pitching cage. And that boy was throwing at the age of 9. He was throwing 85-mile-per-hour balls.
So,
like,
but
but
it
wasn't accurate. It wasn't accurate. But
you can't make a child do something that you want them to do. That's why they don't want to do it.
Right.
Because, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, that was like with me. I did softball, volleyball, and track. That was my thing. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have nobody telling me do these. It was just something I did because that's what I was good at. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, I don't know. And then you go through shit and you have shit happen to you, and then, like you said, it be those woulda, shoulda, coulda things.
Do you regret giving up football?
Off of what's going on now, no. I feel like it wouldn't be right for me.
Right, but have you ever had that thought, like when you had said that day, I could have been out there at that time? Did you think I should have stuck with football?
Yeah, I wish in some way, in another life, I say I wish I would have did football for real. Like play one sport for real, like, and took it serious instead of like hopping around in sports. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm happy with my life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I'm happy with your life. Turned out to be a good kid. I mean, a good young man. You ain't a kid no more. You grown now. Shoot, 25 years old. Made me feel old. With 2 babies.
I know, right?
Got me a Beano GG. Yeah.
Make sure old.
Okay, well, I think that's...
You older than me now.
I ain't old.
Just
when I get a year older, you get a year older. Don't forget that. We always going to be the same distance apart in age.
Right? That's crazy.
I'm just saying. Like, you always going to be way older than me.
And that's how you do when you grow up and you think about now. You say, well, at least you can be proud of your kids and you know how they come out and move.
Because I didn't know what was gonna happen to Josh.
Yeah, me either. That was.
I just knew Josh was gonna be in jail or dead. There was the two.
But
things.
He turned out. We and him used to do those talks, and he turned out pretty good. And when you see him with that boy, I love to see him with that boy. That makes me cry all the time.
Yeah, to see how he is with Kaysen is
amazing.
It is amazing because I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
right.
He grew up like that, and it was so good that God made it that he spent the first month with him by himself. You see how that happened?
Right.
She had that. All of a sudden, then he had to do that, and he did it like
it was like nothing. Like
he was. Every time I look at my phone at work, he was sending me pictures. We had him on the floor. I said, "You think that's a doll, don't you?" He had it. But he had it. It was nothing.
I just hate the situation that he had it in.
Yeah,
because I think that Josh seen Jay have a baby, and he thought, "Oh, that looks fun." And I really think that that's what he really thought. Like, that looks fun. Like,
He probably did.
Jay got a family. But
Jay
Jay
got
did it the right
he
way.
had
Jay got a wife and
he had
you
a
know,
little me. That's what he was.
right, he
wanted-
had a little me, and Josh wanted to be like his brother. Like, well, I want me a baby now, and he just went and put a baby in this random, and I'm like, dude, like, you have to be. Jay was selective about who he, put a seed in. He made her his wife,
Yeah.
and then he made a child, and that's what I wish Josh would have done. That way, he could be raising his child with a loving mother, and they had a good relationship. And instead, now we dealing with craziness. So I love my son as a son. I mean, as a father.
I do
He's a
too.
great
I
father.
do.
Both
I
of my
do.
boys are great
Oh
fathers.
yeah, but see, Josh and Jay two different people.
They are two different
But that's what I
people.
say. Because I look at Nadarius. Nadarius with that baby. Oh my God, it's crazy. He had that baby more than that
baby
girl
mama.
do. It's like, and he looked just like him. It's like when you see Cash, you see not. I mean, it's like crazy. He grew up quick to where that's his
Yeah,
son.
the babies have changed them. And even with Josh, I was like, it just trips me out. Now, he might not have no job. He might not be doing, but he's not where he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He done come a long way
He done
from
came
there.
a long way.
Yeah, and
'Cause
that's good
He
for
ain't
him.
in jail.
All of them grew up.
Which I
'cause
thought that's
Nelson
what he would be.
said. Nelson said all my boys grew up and had boys. You got Jay, Josh, Nadarius, Quay, all y'all just.
Yeah, boy.
So all of them boys
Yeah,
and
all
got
them boys.
boys.
So that's good because I'm glad Josh didn't need no girl.
Oh,
I swear
No,
he
he
didn't
ain't
need no
no
girl.
girl.
'Cause, yeah, but
My wife always been talking about having more kids, but I don't know. About that.
that's something to think about.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, kids.
Two
is
was enough
expensive,
for
too.
me.
Two
Was enough
Yeah,
for me.
and then they're expensive.
I would have stopped at one.
Yeah.
If, like I
I
tell
tried.
people, if I had known what I know about Josh, I love Josh. Don't get me wrong, I love both of my boys.
But yeah, because you don't be
But
known.
Josh
Because I
put
say
me
that too.
through
Like, damn.
HE double hockey
I'm trying
sticks
to
through
tell you.
those 18 years of his life. Like,
He did.
I went.
That boy was something
That
serious.
boy brought me closer. That boy put me closer to God than anybody in this whole earth. I
I
promise
know,
you.
he did.
He made me pray more than anybody. But I don't regret having my kids. But if I had known.
Yeah, because I say
that
that
I
too.
would've
I
had
think
to go through
everybody
that, I
say
would've
that.
stopped at
I think
one.
everybody say if you would have known what was gonna go through what you do now, then yeah, you would have been like, okay, that's it right there.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stuck with one. I'm
That's
good.
it.
But I
Yeah.
love my kids, and I think I'm happy that I had two because at least they got each other.
Yeah.
If anything happened to me, they got each
Each
other.
other, yeah.
And I think when you a only child and say you lose your parents, you don't have anybody else. It's just you.
Yeah, because I think about that with Reese, because Reese crazy though now. His mama did everything, gave him everything, and she thought he was gonna be, this, that, and the other. She sent him to that all-black school, which I thought was kind of stupid, and he just came back crazy. He didn't never finish, so he wasted his mama's money. I mean, and now he living. I mean, it just sometimes some things just ain't right. So. Like you said, maybe she should have had him a little sister or brother or something he could,
to balance a person
but,
out.
yeah.
To have somebody.
But
to
he
do that
had
for them.
Nelson though for a while, and then Nelson went that way, he went that way. That happens too.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you have cousins
got-
that
yeah.
grow up close, but I just think it's just something when you have a
Yeah.
sibling.
I grew up in the same household.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grew up in the same household.
You get raised the same way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I just think that's just, it's a bond that can't be broken. Because, like, with me, and it's funny because with me and my sister, we're close. Like, I didn't think we would be as close as we are. Like, we didn't like each other when we grew up. Like, she got on my nerves, I got on her
Yeah,
nerves.
because
like, we didn't
everybody
like each other.
do. It was 8 of us, and we always
like-
was
I didn't
fussing and
like Josh.
fighting.
I know, but now y'all good. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is with me and Chrissy. Like now we like best friends. Like we talk about everything. We talk every day.
Yeah.
But then we have our brother who is, I'm 17 years older than my brother.
But then
And
too, you gotta
it-
realize
we grew up-
it's different with boys
We
than
grew
it
up
is with girls.
No, but I understand. We love our brother, but Clenso is more like a son to me versus a brother.
Brother, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because him
'Cause
and
of
my
the
son
age
are a year and a half
side.
apart.
Me and him are
They
basically brothers.
they grew up
Yeah.
like brothers. Yeah. So it's like my brother. It kind of like he's my brother and I love him, but I think my relationship with him,
It's more
I have
like
to
a brother and
respect
son,
him
brother.
as a
Yeah,
brother and
instead
not
of
like a
not-
son.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get you.
Because when we went on trips, I was an adult. he was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would take him to the beach when we went on our trips in the summertime.
And you would have to
spring
fuss
break.
at him like you fuss at
Right.
Jay.
It was like he
I know,
was my
right?
child.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to,
I
now
get
that
it.
he's a grown man, I have
you
to be
have
like,
to-
okay, you're my brother. You're not my child.
Yeah.
Even though with Jay, I treat him like an adult. You know, he's still my son, but it's still
It's
a way that
different.
I
It is
talk
a
to
different,
him
yeah,
because
that
he's
you
still
can-
my son.
Versus to talk to your brother.
Right,
Because
right.
he's not your son. He just, like you say, yeah, I get that part. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Lord, look at the faces.
I love you.
Look at him, look. He got teeth?
He got a whole bunch of them in there.
Oh.
He don't like to show
Let's
them.
see. Oh, look at that.
Look at
Oh,
that.
he got a big gap,
Three
too.
at the bottom.
He don't like to show them.
Okay.
Check out them teeth.
All right, well, that was good. We had Mr. J up in here with us today.
We finally had a guest.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we knew he was
Unexpected.
coming, but we didn't expect him to be on the podcast.
Yeah, that was
But
good.
yeah, it was good. He had to come and join us again, Jay.
Now you
That's
will.
nice.
If you y'all got something y'all need to talk about, this is where we do it, right here. Talk about any and every.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot today, though.
We did.
We talked about a little bit of everything.
See, that's what it was. Remember, we was just recapping on everything we had.
Yeah, but we added some
Oh,
too.
we did, which is good.
I had to
we
fuss at
always
Charlotte.
do.
I had
Of
to
course
fuss
she
at her.
did. She, now see, and there she go, thinking she mama.
That's why she older than you.
I had to call her out.
She
You know,
did.
some people that's older, they think they know
I
everything.
know, right?
Sometimes you just gotta call them out
You call
because
them out, too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I think I know.
I'm like,
I be told all the time, you think you know everything.
I don't think I
You
know everything, I
always
just know enough.
You always right.
I know enough to
And
get me by.
I do feel like I'm always right, but deep down, when you tell me that I'm wrong and I know I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah.
still gonna act like I'm right, but I know that I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it like, well, whatever. I'm gonna be like, whatever. I'm
I
still
know,
right.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
can
just don't know
mumble
how to
and
take
say
an L.
whatever.
I don't know how to take an L. Like,
I
that's
do.
You
just
gotta be
me.
comfortable with taking L's.
I ain't used to taking an
Two
L.
L's make a W.
That's a good one, Jay. Tell her that. Tell her.
Really, Jay?
Some losses, get some L's.
Really, Jay?
All right,
That's why like the
Shay.
49ers took some L's.
We only took 4 this year.
Yeah, we took L's.
We took 4,
Got some dubs.
but now we finna really go to the
You
dubs.
see?
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
what
well,
we're finna
Shane
do.
will take us on out so I can leave.
What we
on
taking out?
This, you know, you always do the end part.
No, I don't. You always do the end part.
See how we always got to go through something. Why?
Because that's what we do.
Okay, well, say it. Tell
Well-
your grandmama to say what she supposed to say.
We'll see y'all the next time we do a podcast. Hopefully it'll be next Sunday. We're trying to be on schedule this time.
Yes, we got to this year. This whole new year, we got to
Whole
be
new year.
consistent.
We're trying to be
and here every
consistent.
Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to try to release every Sunday. So we'll holler at y'all next Sunday. We don't know what we're going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk about something. Deuces.
All right.
Peace out.
All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Too bad the kitties didn't say nothing this time. Come in looking like they wanted to cry.
You want to say something, man?
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
He said his little piece.